So JB, we got some seat work going on here. Tell me what's happening.
Okay, this is the front seat that we are building for the 38 Coupe. If you recall, sedan seats and coupe seats differ dramatically because of the requirement that you get into the back. So if you've got a four-door car, there's already the rear doors to enter the car, but in a two-door or a coupe,
right, they need to be able to move.
They have to be able to, the seats have to be able to swing out of the way to allow somebody to get in the back seat.
Right.
So that's what we're doing here, and we got to start out with a seat that wasn't exactly like the Zephyr seat. The Zephyr seats are, to put it mildly, not real well thought out. They're cute to look at, but in everyday use, they have some problems. And so what we did is we took a really nice original 37 Ford Coupe seat, which is rare in and of itself, but it also had some really good features that we liked. First of all, it wasn't at all rusty at all. It had never been out in the weather.
Okay.
So everything was in good order. It's very well constructed. It has a real simple sliding mechanism that allows you to slide back and forth depending on your height.
Okay.
And of course, being made by the same company, it has a lot of similarities in terms of style and shape and that sort of thing, which is what we're trying to look for.
Right.
So we start out with a very similar kind of seat from the same manufacturer, and now we've got a good basis to turn it into what we're calling a Zephyr-esque seat. It's not really a Zephyr seat, but it's a Zephyr-esque seat. So we got to rebuild some of these design cues that are part of the Zephyr. If you recall, in the other car that we did a story on, it had one of these beautiful seats. Right. It also has this chrome bar going up the side. So we're going to end up with a background piece going right here. That's what these are, and of course they're one on the outside, one on the inside, one on the inside, one on the outside. So that's why the four pieces, and they're just made out of cold rolled steel. We'll cut them out,
so
and
they're kind of drawn out, being ready to be cut.
Exactly.
Okay.
And as you can see, they're marked top and bottom because there's a tiny bit of difference. So we've got all these elements, and we use them to mock everything up. If you do drawings, that's great, but drawings don't get you where you want to go when you're dealing with this many three-dimensional objects. And one of the things that we're trying to integrate into it, and this will be on the outside where you can see it better, is this beautiful strip of cast metal that's been finished and chrome plated, so that's how we're going to pick up the design element.
That looks so nice against the fabric.
Right. Now you're going to remember the seat's going to be wider, and we have the original padding that we may or may not use, but it does have this compound curve. So you've got this it's already constructed, so that saves us time and money.
This is an original piece. So this is
original from this seat.
Wow.
So what we did, in order for it to be widened, we had to section the seat such that we expanded it outboard, but that left the backs intact so that we don't have to section them as well.
Okay.
And so Mark, our designer fabricator person, figured out how to do this with the minimum amount of work ultimately. So you got this really nice shape to it, which is all rounded, which is, part of the charm of the 38 Zephyr is that almost everything on the car is round.
Right.
So we'll reuse those. Probably, John will cover them if he's happy with them. We never tell John what to do, as we talked about. We ask John to do what we need, and then John gets to figure it out. There's nothing worse than telling somebody who knows a lot more about something what to do.
Right.
It's proof that you're not very smart. You get smart people and let them do what they do, and try to stay out of their way as much as possible. This is the bottom cushion, which, as you can see, is in really excellent condition. The metal is still shiny on this, which is hard to imagine considering its age. Wow. So this will sit in here and give us this beautiful seat. It's actually probably goes the other way, but the point is that now we've got the style, all these round curves and things being integrated into the same thing, and we're going to mimic what we've done prior on other seats, and do it in probably in a tan leather, so that we got the interplay of the beautiful deep red and the tan, which has always been a really beautiful combination. So this, we'll see this as it starts to progress later.
Yeah, you can see where it's going.
Yes,
That's
and
really
it
great.
should be really beautiful, and it'll be unique, and at the same time very much in character with the rest of the interior, which is what we're always trying to
Yeah,
manage.
It's always going to happen. You're right. Very good.
Okay,
Love it.
so that's what we're going to end up doing, and this is the basic framework of the seat. You can see that the springs are still here, and they're still going to be used, so that provides a bit of cushion, and then the cushion that we showed you provides even more, so that like John was talking about before, some of these seats were really attractive, but they weren't very comfortable. The stylists design them, and then the poor passengers have to sit on them.
Right.
As Frank Lloyd Wright once said, that he had spent his entire life trying to figure out how to be comfortable sitting on his furniture, because his furniture was purely and totally for appearance. And when I think he made reference to putting his bony ass on one of his chairs and realizing how uncomfortable he'd made all of his clients over the years. So that there is that problem. And looks is fine, but when you're sitting in a car, sometimes for several hours at a time.
So when you're restoring
comfortable.
something and knowing you have to take it apart completely to restore it gives you an opportunity to make some of these little modifications that you're not going to see to the eye, but in practical terms, they're going to be much better.
Yeah, that's like I said, that's part and parcel of trusting and your upholstery man, your trim man, and also you give him what you want it to do, and you tell him very little about how he's to do it, and you'll find that you'll get a much better effort out of your artists and your people, because they don't need steerage. What they need is to know where you want to go, and then try to get out of their way, because of quite frequently people that are at the head of the shop try to steer everybody and overmanage them, and what you end up with is people that are afraid to make a mistake, so they never really do anything.
Yeah.
And that's really not a good thing.
Right.
You really need to let them express themselves. They have all these years of experience, and it also allows them to take ownership of what they've done, and you need to compliment them when they do a really good job, something that's kind of a lost art anymore. And I learned a long time ago that I loved it when I worked for other people, and that I try to make it part and parcel of everything we do. That doesn't mean you compliment them when they do something wrong or when they don't do it up to your standard. But when they do, you really need to let them know about it.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yep.
Good management style tip there.
Yep.